So this is the secret that I'm going to tell you that you need to understand when you're buying media, when you're a media buyer, or if you're not even necessarily the one pushing the buttons, people are buying media, but you're driving it. You're understanding what's going on so that you can now give somebody some direction on how to scale the business. We want to try to understand from where we're buying traffic, is there more available to us? You guys got to understand that you're competing with the world, okay? You need to understand that a publisher, a platform, they need to win also, right? We always talk about everybody that needs to win, right? The publisher, the media guy needs to win, the customer needs to win, we need to win, the advertiser needs to win, everybody needs to win, right? We all need to be happy so that we can now all have good business. If somebody's losing in the equation, then it's a loser, right? So if the pub is losing, right, on 2 cents, then they might be like, we're only giving you 18,000 clicks. And let's pretend like it is monthly, right? We're only getting 18,000 clicks. If we looked at that by day, so we're getting 589 clicks a day. For a platform that may have a ton of traffic, that's nothing. That is nothing. And while it's awesome, like what's going on, and we have a good business here, pretend like that's your only business, right? Well, we need to figure out if we can get more traffic. And to do that, you got to look at it as, you got to understand, and I'll explain this to you. Let me show it to you on this pad here, okay? Because that's important. Publishers, the media, right? They're evaluating what they're making on their traffic, right? So they look at it as an effective cost per thousand, right? Or an effective cost per impression, an effective revenue per impression, an effective revenue per thousand, okay? They're looking at stuff as an effective revenue per thousand, effective revenue per impression. It's the exact same thing. I like to look at it by impression personally. It's just easier numbers, and it just, for people that are new, it just confuses them when you start doing it by thousands. So I just do that, right? But at the end of the day, it's like this, right? So if it's 10 cents an impression, that is a $100 RPM, okay? Same thing, it's the exact same thing, okay? All you're doing is you're taking the 100, you're dividing it by the 1,000, and it's 10 cents. So that's how these publishers are looking at it. So I'll give you an example of how Google does it, right? Does anybody know how Google makes money here? Like, raise your hand. Yes, I do. I will tell you that the majority of the people in this world do not understand how Google makes money, right? So if we look at Google, right, we know that there's a search, any search engine, search. The product is the organic results. So if you're searching for pet food, for a canine, then the organic results, the better it is, the more relevant it is, the better Google is to you, right? If you go and you search for something, how frustrated are you when you search for something in Google or Bing or wherever, and you search and the results are nowhere near what you're looking for, right? If that keeps happening, you're not going to use it. But that's the product of what Google started their business on, okay? Now, someone said, wait a second, so it's great that we have that here. Now we need to monetize the traffic. We need to make money because you search and they give you results. You're not making money, right? You're not paying anything to search. So how do they make money? Advertising, advertisers. So what do? They allow ads here, right? So ad, they may put it here, an ad, right? So what happens with this business here, okay, is we're gonna pay now on a PPC, okay? It is pay per click, okay? So what's happening is people are gonna go bid for this, for clicks, okay? And I'm gonna do this quickly to show you, but let's say we have 2 different advertisers, right? We have company 1 and company 2, okay? Now let's say that this guy is bidding $10 a click, okay? And let's say that this guy's bidding $5 a click, right? So let's say company 1, company 2. Okay? That's their ad, and that's their ad, right? So we have 2 ads here. Which one is more valuable? Well, from the looks of it, it looks like the $10 one is more valuable than the $5 one, right? Because you're looking at it on what somebody's willing to pay per click, right? Well, no, that's not it. That's not necessarily true, because they're looking at it on how much are they making on a revenue per thousand, okay? What are they making on every impression, right? So how do they figure that out? Well, okay, let's take the impressions, and then we need to have the click rate percentage, right? Make sense, guys? Now, click rate percentage is super important for Google, right? Because they're looking at it as how much are they making. Just because they're bidding $10, that doesn't mean that they're paying $10. They only pay $10 when somebody clicks, right? So what happens if company 2's ads are way more compelling to the user than company 1? Well, let's pretend that these guys have a 1% click rate. Let's pretend that they have a 5% click rate. So what are they spending? 500 clicks times 10 is $5,000. 2,500 clicks times 5 is 12. Well, now I ask you, which one is more valuable? Is the $10 PPC ad more valuable than the $5 PPC ad? No, right? It's great that they want to pay $10, but it doesn't work. Whatever their ad is not clicking. So Google's not making money. So you got to understand when you're buying traffic, right? When you're buying traffic here, if this is Google, right, you need to understand what does the publisher need to make to get traffic. That is so important. And you have to measure that in some way, right? Google just wants to make as much money as they can. And it's just a matter of what is the most valuable thing to them on their page, and it has to be relevant, right? It has to be a good user experience. Otherwise, you're like, if you're not having fun and you don't like it there, you're not gonna come back, and that's a big problem. Like, publishers don't want that. They want you to stay, right? TikTok, they want you to stay. They want you to hang out there as long as you can. Facebook, stay in there as long as you can. So they're just working to keep you there. The longer you're there, the more ad revenue they can generate off of you. And if you understand that and you understand the rules of the game, then you work within those rules and you try to figure out how to make something compelling for the audience that's on that platform to now have a good experience, and yet also you're making money for that platform. It's pretty simple, right? So guys, that's it. I mean, gold right there. I hope you guys, stayed for the end here through this video. If you did, you've got a tremendous amount of information that you can now use for your business. Listen, subscribe, please. It helps. Share this thing with anybody you think could need it. Subscribe to my text community, 917-636-1998, right? Ask me any questions you want. Comment. Ask me questions. I'm happy to help you. I'd love to help you, right? And look out, man. I just finished a chapter. A book's coming out. The launch is April 9th, $1 Million Identity. I'm with a bunch of awesome other authors. I talk about media arbitrage. I talk about survey funnels and Survey Detective and all that good jazz. And that's also like putting like a kick in my butt to like do so much more stuff that I'm pretty excited about. I haven't announced it yet, but it's pretty close to writing my own solo book all around, survey secrets and how to use surveys to generate leads and increase your profit margins and make more money and be more relevant and kick butt on the internet. And that should coincide with launch of our Survey Detective software. So a lot of cool stuff up ahead. Really excited about it. So with that said, guys, I appreciate all of you. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all safe out there with what's going on in this world. And until next time, be blessed. Talk to you soon.